In the case of the engineer, Mother Nature takes care of enforcement of the law, and it is enforced impartially. For example, law of gravity. Whether one is a scientist or a Nobel laureate or a president of India or the chief justice or whoever it is, law of gravity applies to everybody. If a person slips on the staircase, he will fall down. There won't be any exemptions. But here in law, what happens? The laws are made by man, namely legislature. They are interpreted and applied by the judges. And if judges don't faithfully enforce the law and the binding precedents, lawyers just become priests, the clergy. Should this continue? It may suit the lawyers and the judges, because lawyers have no responsibility of judging beforehand, before accepting the case. Whether that case will stand or not, they will get their money and then appeal, again money, again appeal, money. What about the consumer? Why don't you think this way? Then, additional advantages of predictability are: the judge in the district level court is empowered to write correct judgments which will not be easily set aside by the higher judiciary, except when there is a change in the law with retrospective effect. In fact, as per the CPC, a second appeal to the High Court lies only when there is substantive question of law involved. So far as questions of fact are concerned, First Appellate Court is the final authority. Of course, there is a danger in this. There is no jury trial now in India. So by the time it is decided by the First Appellate Court, only two judges, one in the trial court, one in the First Appellate Court, they have given their opinions. It is risky to make that final. If jury trials are there, a panel of jurors, they decide the facts subject to first appeal, and there is no need for any second appeal. So this will ensure that a judge can exercise the power with confidence. This will also discourage frivolous and speculative appeals and reduce the delay and workload on courts. The Civil Procedure Code also provides for second appeals to the High Court only when substantial question of law is involved. Even the executive, comprising of ministers, bureaucrats, the police officials, will know in advance what kind of decisions they take will get the approval of the judiciary and when they would be held guilty of misconduct. This is needed to prevent paralysis of administration. Legal advisors of the government, like Attorney General, government pleader, public prosecutor, would have no role to play in the absence of a predictable judiciary. For instance, the Andhra Pradesh government took several steps to decentralize the capital. Most of its steps were set aside by the Honorable AP High Court. Now, who is to blame? Whether the fault lies with the honorable judges or with the learned legal advisors of the government, I am not competent to say. But what is important is even the government, even the legislature cannot take appropriate steps quickly in the absence of predictability of judgments. Then jury trials are indispensable.